What's going on, everybody? I'm Kevin from Cigar Prop, and it is another Tech Tip Sunday. Yes, I'm laying down, the back hurts. Tweaked it yesterday at work, but I stayed all day, even though I tweaked it my very first car in the morning, because I'm a big, strong man. That's what men do. We just work. We don't call off because we got the sniffles or go home early because we stub our toe or something. We didn't have a tech tip last Sunday. It's just been so busy around here and so busy at the shop. But over the last couple weeks, we've had some cars come in. People's, just touching stuff on their cars they shouldn't be touching. First one, we'll talk about AC. A gentleman comes in, hey, I need my AC recharged. It's not blowing cold. I put 3 big cans of refrigerant in, and it's just leaking right out. So I'm like, show me what you put in. Do you have them with you? And he goes, yeah. So we went out to his car, 3 big cans of AC refrigerant with stop leak. And I go, there's nothing I can do for you. I go, it's got stop leak in it. I go, do you know what that's going to do to my machine? I go, the Freon or the refrigerant may have leaked out, but that stop leak is still in there, and that is going to clog up my filter, and it just and decrease its life. It's not like the machine's going to clog up right away, but it just decreases the lifespan of those filters. And those filters can be $300 or $400 for the multi-stage filters. And I go, yeah, I don't want to touch it. Well, what do I do? And I go, open up the system. If there's nothing in it, I said, if I put my machine on it, there's any pressure in it, I can't suck it down. You're going to have to find a shop that there's some shops that have like junk tanks. So they'll they'll bypass their filters, or they'll have a machine dedicated for garbage Freon. And then they'll hook that up, or like I said, they'll bypass their filter, put it into a junk tank, wait till that 30-pound cylinder gets full, and they send it off to be recycled. So I'm like, so you got to find a shop that will suck the refrigerant down if there's pressure in the system. And then you got to open up the system. You got to flush everything out. You got to replace your the desiccant bag, or if it's got a receiver dryer, you really need to replace your expansion valve. And I go, you're probably $1,000. If I had to guess, is what a shop would. We're not capable of doing that. We don't have a junk machine, and I really don't want to hook that car up to my machine to make a couple $100, whatnot, in a service. So the guy's like, oh man, and I'm like, they shouldn't sell this stuff on the shelf. They shouldn't sell refrigerant to where the average consumer, we still have the hole in the ozone layer. That new stuff, 1234YF, it still does damage to the ozone. Refrigerant needs to be taken off the shelf. People need to stop messing around, with refrigerant. It's and in today's vehicles, 2 to 3 ounces. They say 2. I'm more like 3. Very, very little. 3 ounces undercharged or 3 ounces overcharged. The system doesn't work efficiently. So you need to hook it up to a machine, evacuate all of the refrigerant out, and then fill it back up to the appropriate level, and then start your diagnosis from there. There's no more hooking up to the other machine. I don't know why we ever tapped our gauges and be like, yeah, you're a little low. I'll just, with the pressures, that hasn't been a thing for 25 years. Stop touching the AC on your car. I know AC is expensive, but yeah, this kid, I don't even know what happened to him. He'll spend an easily $1,000. So it is what it is. Another customer comes in. They were topping off their brake fluid because I don't know why they were messing around underneath their hood. Noticed their brake fluid was full or low. So they went to the garage, opened up got the can of brake fluid, or plastic jar, we still call them cans of brake fluid, topped it off, and he goes, it didn't look right. And what do I do? So I'm looking in the master cylinder. There looks to be like a sheen or something floating on top of it. I'm like, it could be water. It could be a little bit of oil. I go, most likely it's water. He's like, oh, what do I do? And I go, you're definitely gonna have to flush the system out, do an analog brake procedure flush, activate all your valves, get all of that fluid out of there, whatever's in there, knock on wood, and hope for the best. So oh, what's that gonna charge? And I go, we're gonna have to run a whole lot more fluid through there. Like I said, I'm gonna have to hook up my scanner, activate all the ABS solenoids individually, and then do the ABS bleed procedure. I go, it's probably not too much, probably $300 or $400, because it's gonna take a lot more time because we don't know what fluid is in there. And he's like, well, I'm gonna go home and try and bleed the brakes myself. Have at it. Why'd you even come here? Why did you even come here? You dumped a bunch of fluid in it. So brake fluid, once jars have been opened, if it's, they say, that's why brake fluid should come in smaller jars. They say once you open up a brake fluid, it's use all of it right away or throw it out. We don't do. I mean, we go through so much brake fluid when we open up a can of brake fluid or bottle of brake fluid. Like it's gone within a day, you know, a couple days at max. But yeah, I mean, if it's in your house, your garage, brake fluid is hygroscopic, means it absorbs water from the air. If you don't have that lid on tight, good tight seal, you could actually suck water in from the environment. Plus, brake fluid goes low. As you're using your brakes and your pads get thinner, your fluid level drops. When you go to have your brakes replaced, if they push the piston back in, they shouldn't be doing that. And then your brake fluid level rises again. They should be doing cracking the bleeder open and then, you know, pushing the piston in. So all that nasty fluid that's in your caliper gets dispelled and it doesn't get shot back up into the system, to the ABS system. But that's a procedure. Even in my shop, I'm the only one that opens up the bleeder. And but everybody else does it the way that most shops do. And it's rare that anybody ever has an issue by doing that. But whatever, it is what it is. Third one comes in. Guy topped off his transmission fluid, and afterwards found out that he put the wrong transmission fluid in because he just went to the auto parts store and bought automatic transmission fluid and then just topped it off, and then realized his took a different, I don't even know how many transmission fluids there are. I couldn't even tell you. Dozens upon dozens of different kinds of transmission fluids. Some of them, like Pennzoil, Valvoline, like they'll make like not a universal, but like they'll have one fluid. And if you read the bottle, it'll cover like 6 or 8 different things. Like you may read, hey, this covers Nissan Matic. Which Nissan Matic? Because it doesn't cover all of them. So if you just read Nissan Matic and you got a Nissan, oh, it's Nissan fluid. No, there's different Nissan Macs, and some Nissans take just ATF Deck 6. Yeah, don't be putting that in there. Luckily he said he only put like a quart through it. Still, a couple $100 charge. We flushed out the system. We did it a couple times to make sure all of that fluid was out of there. But all of these people are in the hole for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. The AC guy, potentially $1,000 unless he finds someone that does it on the cheap. But for just adding fluids to your car, coolant. God, there's probably a dozen different engine coolants out there, and these universals. Don't put universal in your car. Get the coolant that is required by your car. Power steering used to be a huge issue back in the day. People just top off, oh, it says power steering fluid. Some take a mineral oil, some take an automatic transmission fluid. Honda had their own specific fluid, and it was always causing damages. Seals were leaking. It's just, don't put a fluid in your car. I'm gonna say unless you bought it from the dealership. Go to the dealership, tell them you need some fluid, give them your VIN number, they'll get you the right fluid, because it's not worth it. It's not worth the headache, the hassle, the money, the time, the potential damage to components, just by topping off your fluids. If you need your fluids topped off, come see us. Like I said, we'll change your oil. We top off all your fluids anyways. We'll do that for free. And if we put the wrong fluid in, well, at least we have to own it now. But we have a whole manufacturer's thing. We don't, touch any fluid until we go to the computer and check exactly what goes in that vehicle. So, all right, cats and kittens, that's all I got. I'm gonna kick my heating pad on high here and chill out for the rest of the day. Peace.